Now look over here. We completed till I think okay. So we completed all about this instantaneous speed, instantaneous velocity, meaning of that, and all those parts, isn't it? Now we also talked about average speed, average velocity, dependent questions, and all these kind of problems. Right on. Now I want to talk like earlier, as basically we know that these particles which are traveling over here, they can have some position, like as we know that the position of the particle is varying with respect to time, isn't it? So I can have, let's suppose, um, so let's suppose the position of particle dependent on time is given. Okay. Right or not? Let's suppose position of the particle dependent on time is given, means x of t is given. Are you able to get me on? Now, if this is given, then I want to find average velocity and instantaneous velocity. So instantaneous velocity we can find, we know the formula. But how to find the average velocity? So just like in speed case we have to actually find the turning point, isn't it? And then you have to find the average speed. Here we do not have to do that kind of calculation. There is a no case of turning point. Average velocity can be directly written as, or V average can be directly written as, you can, what you can do is you can find velocity, which is nothing but dx by dt, isn't it? Are you able to get me or not? Or without even finding velocity, why to find velocity? The point is very simple. Just you can do average velocity as x at t final minus x at t initial divided by t final minus t initial. Are you able to get me or not? Is it clear? Satvika, how are you? Uh, where is Sarika? Where is Sarika? Satvika. So look over here. When I talk about average velocity, we have position dependent on final time and position dependent on initial time. So average velocity is position at final time minus position at initial time. If it is a vector form like three-dimensional coordinate, then if r is given to you, okay, so then it is r vector at t final minus r vector at t initial divided by t final minus t initial. Okay, is it clear or not? Second point, what if the third task is, look over here, as position is dependent on time, r is dependent on time, and if velocity will be dependent on time, if velocity dependent on time is given also, so earlier, if velocity dependent on time was given, then you were required to do this whole problem. Means find you were required to find the turning point. But here there is no idea of finding turning point. Average velocity, if velocity dependent on time is given, directly you do t initial to t final. Velocity dependent on time dt divided by t final minus t initial. Are you able to get me out? Is this clear, guys? Okay. Can I move ahead? Now, सौम्या इधर ही हो ना? Hello, सौम्या. Guys, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, yes, sir, yes.
ओम भाई जग गए। ओम साई केतन रुकनाथ, कितना बड़ा नाम रखा है केतन। अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ ये तो ऐड हो जाता है ना। ओके, कैन आई मूव अहेड? द लास्ट पॉइंट, now as these are x of t, v of t, but velocity can be also dependent on position. जैसे जैसे पार्टिकल चलेगा वैसे वैसे वेलोसिटी बाहर होगी। तो लास्ट केस है, if velocity of particle is dependent on position, so there I can find average velocity as integral v of x dx divided by x final minus x initial. Here integration from x initial to x final. Are you able to get me or not? अरे पटेल आ गए तुम, जग गए आज। कल कॉल किए थे, अभी सदमे में है। कल मेरे को रात को कॉल किया था, मतलब मैं बोला हूँ 9:30 बजे के बाद कॉल मत किया करो, उस समय हमारी हमारे परिवारों का मतलब हमें अपने परिवार से बात करना पड़ता है, तुम नहीं समझ रहे हो ना। गुड मॉर्निंग पटेल। ठीक है, तो देखो, वी वी डिराइव्ड, सी, एवरेज स्पीड, एवरेज वेलोसिटी, नॉर्मल formulas आर सिंपल. That sir, average speed is total distance by total time. Average velocity is total displacement by total time. But main task arises when these dependencies are given, right or not. So as in speed, if xt and vt is given, it is necessary to find turning point. Remember that average speed calculation depends on turning point calculation, while average velocity calculation does not depend on any of these. Are you able to get me on? So based on that, let's pick up one question. Right or not? Question is, if same x is equal to, like, we'll have a set of some questions, x is equal to t square minus 2t plus 3, then find all those parts. First part, once again we'll do it, position of particle at t is equal to 0 comma t is equal to 1 second. Second, do it fast, displacement of particle at t is equal to 0 comma t is equal to 1 second. Third, position of particle, displacement of particle. Third is your uh, displacement of particle between, not at, between t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1 second. Third thing is average speed. Let us calculate instantaneous speed first. Instantaneous speed at t is equal to 0 comma t is equal to 1 second. Fourth, average speed between t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 2 seconds. Got it? Fifth, average velocity average velocity between t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 2 seconds. Do it. 5 questions in one way. Let's do it fast. Try to do it. Everyone you should do. दीपू, किताब लेके बैठ जाओ, कॉपी लेके बनाओ जल्दी से। टेल मी एनीवन, अरे ऐसे एक एक करके तो आंसर बताते जाओ, जल्दी जल्दी बनाओ।
सर फर्स्ट वाले का t इक्वल्स टू 0 मीन कि t इक्वल्स टू y।
हाँ करेक्ट। तो फर्स्ट वन,
डिस्प्लेसमेंट।
मतलब अगर जीरो पुट किया तो x इज इक्वल टू 3 आया, तो x एट t इज इक्वल टू 0 3 है, और x एट t इज इक्वल टू 1 अगर पुट किया तो 1 माइनस टू माइनस 1 प्लस 3 मतलब 2 आया है कि नहीं? यस।
सर डिस्प्लेसमेंट का फिर वो उसका माइनस करना है।
हाँ डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो गया पोजीशन एट t फाइनल, मींस पोजीशन एट t इज इक्वल टू 1 माइनस पोजीशन एट t इज इक्वल टू 0। तो ये कितना आ रहा है? ये आएगा दिस इम्प्लाइज, हाँ डिस्प्लेसमेंट बराबर 2 माइनस 3 विच इज इक्वल टू माइनस 1 मीटर्स, मतलब पीछे जा रहा है कि नहीं? ठीक
फिर
है।
इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड t इक्वल्स टू 0 पे इज 2 माइनस 2
हाँ,
और 1 मीटर्स पे 0 मीटर।
पहले तो इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड में हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, डिफरेंशिएशन करना पड़ेगा, dx by dt लगाना पड़ेगा। सो d by dt ऑफ x विच इज t स्क्वायर माइनस 2t प्लस 3, तो कितना होता है ये 2t माइनस 2, दैट्स माय इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड इक्वेशन। अब हमें निकालना है इंस्टेंटेनियस स्पीड एट t इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच 0, पुट कर दो t माइनस 2 होगा ना, माइनस 2, लेकिन हम स्पीड, लेकिन स्पीड है ना तो इसमें माइनस हट जाएगा, क्या कंसिडर करोगे 2 मीटर पर सेकंड, लेकिन यहीं पे अगर मैं बोल देता इंस्टेंटेनियस वेलोसिटी एट टी इज इक्वल टू 0, तो वेलोसिटी भी तो ऐसे नहीं आता, डिफरेंशिएशन ही करके आता, तो वहां पे लिखना पड़ता माइनस 2 मीटर पर सेकंड स्पीड। समझे कि नहीं समझे? क्लियर, बिकॉज स्पीड इज a scalar quantity, are you able to get me or not? So instantaneous speed at t is equal to 1, कितना हो जाएगा? जीरो होगा क्या? जीरो कैसे होगा भाई? 1 अच्छा हाँ, जीरो, करेक्ट करेक्ट, मैं उधर क्यों जा रहा? 0 मीटर पर सेकंड, आर यू एबल टू गेट मी और नॉट? यस। अब ध्यान से देखो, when we got to know about instantaneous speed, remember that whenever I talk about instantaneous speed, this point, if in v instantaneous arrow is not there, then I'm talking about speed, and if arrow is there, I'm talking about instantaneous velocity. Magnitude wise they are same, but in instantaneous velocity only negative sign will be added. In instantaneous speed there will be no positive, means there is no consideration of negative sign. Are you able to get me or not? Clear balance? Okay. Next task. As we got to know about all of these, I want to find average speed between t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 2 seconds. I have told every time whenever you have position dependent case, for average speed you need to find the turning point. Turning point is that point where velocity of the particle becomes 0. So yeah, 2t is equal to 2, that means t is equal to 1 second. I have a turning point, isn't it? So how to find average speed then? It's simple. Average speed formula is, sir, modulus integral from t initial 0 to turning point time 1 second, velocity dependent on time t. This is the formula or not? See that? This is that formula which I'll have to use or not? This big formula, right or not? So 0 to 1 means t initial to t turning point, velocity dependent on time. This is this equation, 2t minus 2 dt modulus close plus modulus once again open, then turning point to the final time 2t minus 2 dt divided by how much? Total time, which is how much? 2 minus 0, which is 2 seconds. Is that clear? तो इसको सॉल्व करो, कितना आएगा? ये आएगा तुम्हारा 2t स्क्वायर बाई 2, 0 to 1 minus 2t. I'm directly writing it, okay? Is that fine now? Array, yes or no? Should I write it directly? Satvika, Sarika, should I write it directly? Okay, I'm writing it directly. Okay, plus modulus once again. This will come as 2t square by 2, 1 to 2. If you guys will have doubts, you ask me personally in the message, sir. ये वाला part समझ में नहीं आया मैं समझा दूंगा. Okay, divided by total time. It is how much? 2. So look over here. This 2 got cancelled. This 2 also got cancelled. So ultimately I'll get what? This is t square. So this is 1 minus 2. Modulus 1 minus 2. From here if you solve. If you put 1 minus 0 it is 1. So minus 2 will get. Then plus here also you will get same thing. Modulus 2 got cancelled. If you put 2. So it is 2 square minus 1 square. Then it is minus 2. T value is here 2 minus 1. Modulus close divided by 2. So let's solve it. I think this I'll solve it over here. Okay. So this is exactly equal to 1 minus 2 minus 1. But modulus makes the things positive. So it will be plus 1. 4 minus 1 that is 3 plus minus 2, isn't it? So 3 minus 2 is once again 1. So 1 plus 1 divided by 2 that is 1 meter per second. Are you able to get me or not? So average speed is how much? From 0 to t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2, 1 meter per second. Are you able to get me, guys? Yes. हाँ दिपेश बोलो. किसी को कुछ डाउट? Okay. So this was all about your finding the average speed. Average velocity पूछ रहा है तो ध्यान से देखो. Between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2 सेकेंड. तो हम क्या लगाएंगे एवरेज वेलोसिटी के लिए? डायरेक्ट अपना वो वाला कैलकुलेशन. एवरेज वेलोसिटी सर सिंपली पोजीशन डिपेंडेंट ऑन टाइम दिया हुआ ना, तो अभी तो पढ़ा कि एवरेज वेलोसिटी अगर पोजीशन डिपेंडेंट ऑन टाइम है तो x एट t फाइनल माइनस x एट t इनिशियल डिवाइड बाय t फाइनल माइनस t इनिशियल. ये लगा दो है ना. सो देन सिंपली एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या था लास्ट क्वेश्चन? एवरेज वेलोसिटी between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2 seconds. As I know, a average velocity formula is x at t final minus x at t initial divided by t final minus t initial. And x equation is given t square minus 2t plus 3. Just replace it. X can you already calculate means I have to calculate x at t is equal to 2, t final is 2 minus x at t is equal to how much? 0 divided by 2 minus 0. So how much is this? X at t is equal to 2. If I replace 2 over here, 4 minus 4, 0. This is 3 it is, isn't it? Minus x at t is equal to 0, 0 divided by 2. So answer is how much? 0 meter per second. So look over here. As you calculated average speed between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 2, I got 1 meter per second. But even in that case, if I am finding out average velocity, it is how much? 0 meter per second. So that's why these calculations are very, very important to do. Are you able to get me or not? Balaks, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so we got to know these all questions were based on a scalar form and all. And I'll ask one more last question based on this. Uh, if a particle follows v is equal to x minus 2x sorry, x square minus 2x. Then find the average velocity between x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 2 meters. So once again, these questions is not of any use. Like you just put in this formula. As I told you, if velocity of particle is dependent on position, means what is given to you, v of x is given to you. You can directly write this formula and you can do the calculation. Got it? So you got to know what happens with xt, vt, and at, and how to find this average velocity in all these kind of terms which are present over there, isn't it? Any kind of doubt till now is there or what? I think any kind of doubt is not there, isn't it? So these were the form of these things. But let us move on now to one of the important cases of average velocity, and means let's do some question based on the real situation. So look over here. The question is very simple. That let's suppose a particle moves from, let's say there are points A, B, C, D, E, and F, and a particle travels from, means each side of this hexagon is of length A, and a particle starts from point A and starts traveling along this direction with the speed how much? V. The speed of the particle is how much? V. Question is, find the, 1 minute, find the average velocity and average speed of particle when it reaches point, option A, when it reaches point D, and option question, when it reaches first question point first D, and second question F. Do it fast. Tell me fast. What will be the answer? एवरेज वेलोसिटी या एवरेज स्पीड क्या है 3v/2? एवरेज स्पीड, अच्छा। एवरेज वेलोसिटी कहाँ का, पॉइंट डी का क्या? ठीक है, देखते हैं। तो 1 मिनट रुकना, मैं आईपैड निकाल रहा हूँ, चार्ज लगाऊंगा उसको। उसे सॉल्व करो तब तक, 2 मिनट टाइम लो। Do it. Anyone, anything, any answer? Satvika, where are you? Alive? सारिका, हाँ, क्या क्या क्या? इक्वेशन क्वेश्चन है सिंपल कि पार्टिकल चल रहा है इस हेक्सागोन पे विद स्पीड v, ठीक है, और द साइड ऑफ द लेंथ ऑफ द हेक्सागोन इज a, then you have to find average velocity, average speed of the particle, and it reaches this point d, and when it reaches at point a. Two questions are there. Okay, wanted. ठीक है, चलो अच्छा देखो, पहले तो समझो, अगर एवरेज स्पीड निकालना है या एवरेज वेलोसिटी निकालना है तो पहले फॉर्मूला लिख लो। एवरेज स्पीड, मैंने बार बार बोला, एवरेज स्पीड क्या है? टोटल डिस्टेंस बाय टोटल टाइम। एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय टाइम, है ना? तो टोटल डिस्टेंस अगर हम डी तक चले तो क्या होगा? ए प्लस ए प्लस ए, कितना हो गया? 3 है। हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? लेकिन हमारे पास टाइम पता है क्या? अगर मान लो इस पे लगा टाइम t1, इस पे लगा t2, इस पे लगा t3, तो एवरेज स्पीड क्या आएगा? t1 प्लस t2 प्लस t3। ध्यान से देखो, तो t1 है क्या? What is t1? t1 is exactly equal to distance a by speed how much? v. Are you able to get me or no? And that will be exactly equal to t2, that will be exactly equal to t3 because velocity is constant. Alright guys, can you understand me? Yes or no? Okay. So then this is what? 3a by t1 is how much? A by v plus a by v plus a by v. So that is v average is equal to 3a. This is my first part calculation. Okay. 3a by 3a by v. So I think this v will go up, 3a will cancel, and b is my answer. So what you got to know, if the particle travels all this distance with a constant speed, then, and it is also done in equal time intervals. Remember that average speed is equal to the speed of the particle. Let's suppose in this comes usually in circular path, that the particle is moving with some velocity along the circular path. Are you able to get me or not? So over there, people think that after traveling over here, let's suppose here some velocity is there, here also some velocity is there. So if I ask you average speed, it is same, equal to v, because it is traveling equal distances in equal interval of time. Are you able to get me or not? So average speed does not change; it remains equal to speed if the particle does equal distances in equal interval of time. Can you understand me, guys? Yes. But for that case, average velocity, if I calculate for here to here, as we know that for hexagon, the length of the diagonal is always 1 minute. Uh, and for hexagon, we know that although that the length of the diagonal is same as side of the hexagon, isn't it? Means this from the center here to here, this length is also how much? A. So this length will be also how much? A. So therefore, the average is equal to twice A. Displacement is twice A from A to D, and divided by time will be how much? Time will be still same, t1 plus t2 plus t3, that is 3a by v. So a cancel and it is 2b by 3. Is it clear, guys? Soumya, Dipesh, Ketan? Sarika, Dikshita, clear?
Yes, sir.
Dikshita, where is your friend? Dikshita, alive? Dikshita has opened.
Present.
Did you read open the phone and then slept or what? No, na?
Mm.
Okay. So we got to know about average speed in the A to D calculation. If I try to find out for A to, for second guess, A to F, second calculation, once again same. Average speed will be same, no problem, because again I'm traveling equal distances in equal interval of time. It will be 5D divided by 5A plus V. So answer is V only. Okay. Let us find average speed, average velocity. So A to F, the displacement is this length or not, which is A. So A by uh, time taken. Time taken will be this T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 plus T5, which is how much? 5A by V. So A cancel, answer is how much? V by 5 meter per second, but average speed is exactly equal to V. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Are you able to get me or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, look over here. Let's do one more question. A particle is traveling in a circular path. Okay. Initially, its its speed is along this side, which is velocity V, meter per second. Then it comes over here, travels still over here, and here the speed is also same, V meter per second. Right on. The total angle traveled over here is 120 degree. Got it? Question is, find the average velocity of particle. If radius is equal to 2 meters. This radius of the circular path is 2 meters. Do it fast. Now we have answer. V को ऐसे मतलब एवरेज ये V को एक 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 मान लो कि जो एवरेज जो वेलोसिटी स्पीड दी गई है V इज 5 मीटर पर सेकंड दिया हुआ है. Got it? अब निकालो एवरेज वेलोसिटी. तो अच्छा क्वेश्चन दिया हूँ. तो देखो सबसे पहले फॉर्मूला लगाओ, एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या होता है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय, अरे कोई तो माइक ऑन करो, डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय क्या, टाइम, आर यू एबल टू गेट मी और नॉट, ओके। लेकिन यहाँ पे हमें डिस्प्लेसमेंट नहीं पता है, टाइम भी नहीं पता, बट इतना पता है कि डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज द लाइन ज्वाइनिंग these two points, isn't it? Yes. And this total angle is how much, 120, yeah. So देखो मतलब अगर ये 120 वगैरह इस तरह का एंगल है, this kind of angles are there for which I can find the angle theta, then you know that this length is from here to here. If I consider this angle, then this angle is 60 degree, isn't it? So this length is nothing but r sine 60. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या हो जाएगा, 2r sin, yes, yes or no, divided by time taken. But time taken जो है, what is time taken? Time taken is nothing but the time taken along this arc, isn't it? This is my time. So how to find this time? That is, arc is a distance. So I will apply distance is equal to, distance by time is equal to speed. Speed is already given, and that is pi meter per second. So speed is equal to pi. Distance is, what is this distance? Distance, I told you, it is r into theta. So r into 120 degree divided by time, isn't it? Yes or no? But I need to convert this 120 in terms of radians, then only I can write the answer, no? So pi is equal to r into 120 into pi by 180 and divided by time t. So this pi got cancelled, and this is 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18. So 2 by 3. Our radius is how much? 2 meters. So time is equal to, this implies time is equal to 4 by 3 seconds. Is it clear or not, guys? Everyone? Sarika, clear. Dixita, clear.
Yes.
Soumya, Satvika. Now, point is very, very simple that many people follow this method. Root under r square means they find the displacement using the vector method because the angle between these two vectors are given. Considering radius as 2 meter and this radius as also how much? 2 meter. So that method you have to follow if the angle is not in such a way for which sine can be defined. Like I saw one question in which this angle was 135 degree. How much was this theta? 135. Now you can't solve 135 using this formula 2r sine, because if I divide 135 by 2, then it will be very tedious to calculate. Go ahead or not. So over there, if for 135 degree, what I'll use the formula r square plus r square, and then it will be plus 2r square cos 135. Are you able to get me or not? Means that displacement formula I'll have to use. Is that clear, guys, or not? Understood or not, Balaks?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So same way here also we have to follow. Uh, Time I got, that is 4 by 3, and 2r sine 60 I am following. So 2r sine 60. Put the values, 2 r is 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, divided by time you got 4 by 3. 2 2 cancel, 2 2 are 4. This 3 will go up, so it becomes 3 root 3 by 2 meter per second. That's your answer. It's J 2000, I think 2021 or 2020. In that they are asked. Clear for everyone? Is this clear or not? Confirm? Can I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was some of the questions of average speed, average velocity, and all. If we solve more problems, we get the idea of more problems. Let me check if I have some more questions related to that or not. Displacement given. I think we have almost done every type of it. Got it? Now, let us move on to the next topic today. Average velocity and all we have done. Let us move on to the next topic, which we call it as acceleration. So, acceleration in simple terms, yeah, rate of change of velocity with respect to time. But once again, this acceleration will have two forms. One is average acceleration, but as acceleration is a vector quantity, so average, just like velocity was equal to average velocity, similarly average acceleration is similar to acceleration, which is velocity at t final minus velocity at t initial divided by t final minus t initial. Remember that these are vector form, so write like this way. Is this clear or not? Are you able to get me? Second thing is instantaneous acceleration. As once again the word instantaneous has been used, means I'm talking about dt time interval. So it will be rate of change of velocity in dt. So it will become dv, very small change, isn't it? dv by dt. Are you able to get me or not? But we know that velocity is either dx by dt, and if it is, I'm considering vector form, then it is dr by dt also, isn't it? So let us write in terms of dr by dt. So it will be d by dt of dr vector by dt, which can be written as d2r vector divided by dt square. Is this clear? That is a form of instantaneous acceleration. Means if r vector is given in three-dimensional coordinate system, it will be written as d2x by, means I'll write this in this sense that if, as we know that r vector is the position vector, so r vector is given as xi cap plus yj cap, considering the displacement of particle, movement of particle along all three positions, then velocity vector is simply dx by dt. You have to consider each component of velocity along each direction. Is it or not? And the last part is acceleration. So instantaneous acceleration vector is d2r vector by dt square, which means that d2x by dt square I cap plus d2y by dt square j cap plus d2z by dt square k cap. Is this clear, guys, or not? Tell me. Yes. So this is the acceleration vector form if I consider average acceleration and all those kind of things. Got it or not? Okay. So let us write one question, then I'll move ahead. Simple question. That the velocity of the particle, means all these are differentiation only. Okay. If the velocity of particle changes with time, as I think now you guys will have never a problem in differentiation. We discussed so many parts of differentiation, isn't it? So v of t is equal to minus 2t plus 4. Okay, then find first average acceleration between t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 4 seconds. T is equal to not 0, t is equal to 1 to t is equal to 4 seconds. an instantaneous acceleration at t is equal to 1 and t is equal to 4 seconds. Okay. As v of t is given, so I can even find average speed and average velocity, isn't it? So that is your homework problem. That's you will show me. You have to solve average speed and average velocity from time t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 4 seconds. Okay. Do this question first. First and second you do. Second part it's your homework. Why it taking so time? It's easy peasy, na? Average acceleration -2. Very good. हाँ एवरेज एक्सेलरेशन तो कांस्टेंट आएगा और इंस्टेंटेनियस एक्सेलरेशन भी कांस्टेंट ही आएगा ना -2 दोनों सेम आ रहा है क्या दीक्षिता -2 ही आ रहा है क्या सौम्या -2 आ रहा है सारिका सात्विका -2 ही आ रहा है ना तो देखो अगर हमें एवरेज एक्सेलरेशन निकालना है फर्स्ट तो क्या हो गया वेलोसिटी एट टी फाइनल माइनस तो फॉर्मूला हमें पता ही है तो मैं डायरेक्टली लिख रहा हूँ वेलोसिटी टी फाइनल 4 सेकंड सो वेलोसिटी एट 4 माइनस वेलोसिटी एट 1 डिवाइड बाय 4 माइनस यही होगा ना तो पुट कर दो 4 तो क्या होगा पुट किया 4 तो -2 इंटू 4 4 टू -8 प्लस 4 तो आई थिंक -4 हो गया है ना माइनस अगर मैं 1 पुट किया तो -2 प्लस 4 तो ये हो गया 2 -4 -2 डिवाइड बाई 3 -2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर सेकेंड आ गया तुम्हारा क्या है इंस्टेंटेनियस एक्सेलरेशन तो दैट इज सिंपली dv by dt करना ही पड़ेगा तो दैट इज व्हाट -2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर सही है -2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर आर एबल टू गेट मी और नॉट ठीक है
Yes, sir.
तो आज मैं इसको यहीं तक रखूंगा उस क्वेश्चन को बनाओ तब